Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLESFANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. This is exactly the kind of news that gets every Eagles fan's heart pounding. We're seeing a very interesting development in the NFL landscape, and it involves our division rivals, the Dallas Cowboys. It's not every day that you see a blockbuster trade like this. Trevon Diggs, one of the most talented cornerbacks in the league, potentially making his way from Dallas to Philadelphia. And let me tell you, if this trade goes through, it could have profound implications, not just for this season but for the NFC East's power dynamics for years to come. So let's set the scene a bit. We all know the Cowboys have recently been in a bit of a turmoil, especially when it comes to contract disputes. We saw the Cowboys trade away Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers not long ago, after a very public disagreement over his contract. Now, while that deal surprised many, what's even more intriguing is the situation with Trevon Diggs. This is a player who, at just 26 years old, has already established himself as a game-changing cornerback. Over his 5-year career, Diggs has accumulated 20 interceptions, showcasing his exceptional ability to read plays and make game-altering plays on the ball. But as we all know, the NFL is a business, and sometimes, talent alone isn't enough to keep a player happy, especially if contract negotiations hit a snag. And it seems that's exactly where Diggs finds himself now. The Cowboys are reportedly growing frustrated with his contract situation, and this could lead to a trade. Now, naturally, many of us think about the obvious teams that could be interested, and the Eagles are front and center on that list. Philadelphia's secondary has been a position of concern, especially after losing some depth at cornerback in recent seasons. Looking at the current roster, the Eagles' top 2 cornerbacks are Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. Both are promising, but outside of them, the depth drops off significantly. Jacorian Bennett, Kelly Ringo, and Adoree Jackson are the only other options. And while they are talented, the overall experience and proven production aren't quite at the level needed for a playoff-caliber team. The Eagles, knowing this, have tried to bolster their secondary, even attempting to claim Jalen Armour-Davis off waivers. Unfortunately, the Baltimore Ravens swooped in first, claiming him before the Eagles could add another piece. This context makes the potential acquisition of Diggs all the more appealing. Imagine the Eagles, a team that's been searching for a cornerback with ball-hawking instincts and high-level experience, bringing in a player like Diggs. He's a player who has shown he can shut down top receivers when fully healthy, and his knack for interceptions could be exactly what the Eagles need to elevate their secondary to the next level. Now, it's important to note that Diggs is coming off a season-ending cartilage injury in the same knee where he tore his ACL back in 2023. The recovery process is crucial here. If he can bounce back fully, he remains a top-tier talent that could significantly improve the Eagles' defense. His ball skills, speed, and instincts have been evident throughout his career, and if he's healthy, he could be one of the key pieces in Philadelphia's quest for another Super Bowl. But why would Dallas consider trading him within the division? Well, here's where things get interesting. Dallas is reportedly tired of the contract stalemate, and if the Cowboys believe they can get a good package in return, possibly draft picks or young talent, they might be willing to part ways with Diggs. The tricky part is that Dallas would normally prefer not to deal within the NFC East, fearing they might strengthen a division rival. However, if the right offer comes along, especially from a team like the Eagles that can meet their long-term goals, a trade could become a real possibility. This hypothetical scenario isn't just wishful thinking from fans. It's grounded in the reality of NFL negotiations and the current tension between Diggs and the Cowboys. The Eagles, always looking to improve their roster, could very well be at the forefront of this potential deal. If it happens, it would be a massive upgrade for the secondary, adding a player who can match up against the league's best receivers and make game-changing plays. Now, let's talk about how this fits into the bigger picture. The Eagles, coming off a strong 2024 season that saw them reach the NFC Championship game, are hungry for another Super Bowl appearance. They've made some strategic moves in the offseason, but the secondary has remained a concern. Adding Diggs would send a clear message that the Eagles are serious about competing at the highest level. It's also worth noting that the team's defensive coordinator and head coach have emphasized the importance of creating a secondary that can handle the league's best pass offenses. If Diggs joins the Eagles, he would immediately become a cornerstone of that secondary. Pairing him with the emerging talent of Kelly Ringo, who has shown flashes of brilliance, and the experienced Adoree Jackson, the Eagles could form a formidable trio capable of shutting down even the most explosive offenses. Plus, with the added motivation of proving critics wrong and winning another Super Bowl, Diggs would fit perfectly into the Eagles' culture of resilience and relentless pursuit of excellence. Of course, all of this hinges on the negotiations and the willingness of Dallas to trade him. The Cowboys are in a tricky spot. They're trying to get the most value for Diggs, but they also don't want to weaken their team too much within the division. It's a delicate balance, but if the Eagles can come up with an attractive package, this deal could be sealed. It's not just about filling a need, it's about making a statement, about showing that Philadelphia is committed to taking no shortcuts in their quest for another Lombardi trophy. Now, let's also consider the strategic implications. If Diggs is traded to the Eagles, expect the entire NFC East to take notice. Other division rivals will have to reevaluate their game plans, knowing that Philadelphia's secondary just became significantly tougher. It could alter how offenses approach games against the Eagles, forcing quarterbacks to think twice before testing the secondary deep. This kind of upgrade might be just what the team needs to push over the edge in the highly competitive NFC landscape. And let's not forget about the fans. Eagles fans have been craving a game-changing cornerback for quite some time, especially after losing some depth in recent years. The addition of Diggs would not only boost the team's chances in 2025, but also energize the fanbase, instilling confidence that this team is serious about reclaiming its spot atop the NFC. It's a move that could galvanize the entire organization and community, reminding everyone that the Eagles are all in for another Super Bowl run. Now, it's also worth mentioning that the Eagles have a history of making bold moves when it counts. Remember how they shocked the league by trading up in the draft to select Ringo, a player with incredible upside, or how they've consistently added veteran talent to fill gaps. This potential trade for Diggs would follow that pattern, an aggressive, calculated move designed to maximize their chances of winning now. The front office is no stranger to making tough decisions, and if they see a clear path to improve their secondary, they will certainly explore every avenue to make it happen. Of course, as fans, we have to keep an eye on the bigger picture. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and some deals happen behind closed doors before they're announced. But the fact that the Cowboys are reportedly open to trading Diggs, especially given their frustration with his contract, means that this scenario isn't just speculation, it's a real possibility. And if it materializes, expect the Eagles to be front and center in negotiations. So, what does all of this mean for us, the fans? Well, it's an exciting time. We're watching a potential franchise-altering move unfold right before our eyes. It's about strengthening the team, about making bold decisions to chase another Super Bowl. It's about trusting the process, believing that the front office is doing everything they can to put the best possible roster on the field. And it's about dreaming big, because if this trade happens, it could be the catalyst that propels the Eagles back to the top. As we await official news, let's remember that the NFL offseason is a roller coaster, full of twists and turns. Sometimes the biggest stories come out of nowhere, and when they do, they change everything. So keep your eyes peeled, Eagles fans, because this could be one of those moments. A moment where the team takes a giant leap forward, where the secondary gets a serious upgrade, and where the Eagles set their sights even higher for the 2025 season. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you think this trade will happen? Are you excited about the possibility of Trevon Diggs donning the green and white? How do you see this impacting the team's chances for another Super Bowl run? I love hearing your perspectives, and I can't wait to see what you think. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Philadelphia Eagles news. We're in the middle of an exciting offseason, and every move counts. Let's keep the passion alive, and let's keep dreaming big. Because with the Eagles, anything is possible. Thanks for joining me today, and as always, fly, Eagles, fly.